Hi guys, welcome back to another Crafting with Sue. I don't know if you've seen me doing a decoupage little trinket box before, but this is one I did not so long ago. This is my Be Happy trinket box. It's got a free gift inside. This is prepped ready to go to a shop. So basically it's got pictures of beehives on it and flowers and so on and so forth. And it's a repurposed little chest from it was used for something else. So I mean, I had to sort of like prep it and seal it with glue, do what I needed to do on it, and then varnish it. So this is my local shop ready. So I'll pop that to one side. Just so I can show you, I do have another one which is got like dragonflies on it, so that one's ready to go as well. So I've got one here which the glue is in the process of drying, and it has a wee shark on the inside, so that might give you a clue as to what we're doing today. We're going to do a bit of a nautical theme. So basically you get the chest, and I've had to scrape off all the doings with regards to any glue that was on there before. There's still a little bit on this one, so basically you just prep it down, scrape off anything that's you don't want on your box, so that when you do your decoupage it will just sit neat. So there's nothing on that one. Top's a little bit bumpy, but that should smooth out. It's not that bad. So yeah, so it had something glued on the side there. This one's got a heart in it, but you know, we're not gonna cause a fuss over that. So basically what I do then is I just use some PVA bonding glue, which builders use to paint walls. I find this works a little bit better than normal PVA glue. I don't know why. It might just be a psychological thing. And I seal the wood. This is just basically so that I can get a good key and stuff's not just going to drop off, because it's, you know, this wood is very porous. So I just make sure I just give him a good old glue over. So I do the front and the back first, making sure I get everything covered. Because obviously I'm holding the top, so don't want to put my sticky dandies on there, do I? So I hope all of you are well and you're all crafting your little socks off, and you're getting creative with ideas of what to do with recycled products. These chests are being repurposed. They were for something else, but they're no longer required for that. So these are going to be repurposed rather than go to landfill, because I couldn't bear throwing something away. And so I'm just going to show you how I do these. Subject to these turning out okay, these will be going into our Etsy store. So what I've done is I've just opened it so I can get to the roof of the box, but I just need a little bit more glue. Gone over the edge there for some reason. Don't know what's happened there. So just wipe that down, because I don't like glue sticking to things when I go back to them and they're sealed shut and I can't open them. Oh, that's so infuriating. Alright, so what I'm going to do is just hold it by the inside and just paint the actual lid itself. The bottom doesn't need doing because I'm not going to be decorating the bottom. Sorry, I'm a little bit a little bit close and a little bit high, aren't I? So sorry about that. So just make sure that everything is nicely covered and that you know, you've got all the porous wood covered on the sides and the top. As I said, the bottom doesn't matter because we're not going to be decorating the bottom. So just make sure it's all nicely painted up. I always use like cellophane wrappers. I keep these when I get packages or shopping because they come in handy for pallets for the glue. Because there's nothing worse than having, you know, nowhere to pop your glue to do your work. So now what I need to do is just allow this to dry. So I'm going to pop this out the way somewhere because that one, it's not the one I'm going to be using. So I popped him out of the way. This one's still a bit tacky, so I'm going to leave him there for now. But for those who followed the last decoupage, we'll do some prep work. And what I do is I get napkins with designs on them, and I quite like this lighthouse design because I think we need to do a bit of a boy themed trinket box because they're quite feminine, the ones I do normally. So basically what I've done is I've already taken apart part of the napkin because I spent ages last time trying to split them up. So I just take off the first of the 3-ply, so which is my picture. So what I've got to do now is I've got to really think about how I'm going to apply this because this picture is quite big. I'm going to use one of my ones I've already done just to give myself a little bit of an idea. I mean, I suppose I could put it straight over the top like this, but I don't know if I like that. Or do we have it so the lighthouse is sideways? Even then the lighthouse is too big for my box. Okay, so we have actually found a little problem. So we will go back to the drawing board. And I do make some other bits and pieces. Pop these up here. I do make some other items that that require some labels and stickies and what have you. So let me see what I can find in my box of magic tricks. How many of you crafters have got boxes of magic tricks? I bet you've all got bits and bobs laying around that that you can use on various things. There's a motor car there, which is a label. So that's quite masculine. Go with a ye olde camera. I don't know if a clock is masculine, I don't know. Let's have a look. So these are just stickers that are used for something else that I do with other projects, which you'll see in another video. There's like these cogs. Just trying to think of something that I can do which is quite masculine. So I'm just getting these these labels out, or these stickers out, just in case I want to use them, because you know, these are quite quite masculine pictures, so light, ink well. So many bits of pieces. Okay, so that's one small mixture of bits and bobs. I probably won't use them all. I'm just getting them out because they are sort of like more of the masculine side rather than like your pretty butterfly. Because, you know, I mean, boys would which one do you think boys would prefer? You know, ye olde car or butterfly? Probably the oldie car. But if they're anything like my kids grew up playing with all sorts. My daughter had a fascination for tractors, and my son had a fascination for girls' dolls. I mean, they both, you know, were encouraged to play with different toys because I think they need to. Anyway, we'll not go down the rights and wrongs of rearing children because I don't think that's appropriate. So let's have a look. I've got these little cards here which I could always incorporate. Got a map there. That looks rather scientific, doesn't it? But a bit big though for what we're doing today. So not quite sure what else is in there. Let's have a little look. Nah, they're a bit girly, those ones. So I think what I'm going to do as well is maybe incorporate some of these pieces of paper because I quite like these. Okay, here we go. So I'm just going to close this lid on a little bit, even though this is quite sticky still. So this is quite rigid, so I might not use that particular piece. See, this is the nice thing about doing this arts and crafts. You can do whatever the heck you want, honestly. If you imagine something, I think that you ought to try, because I never used to be able to do crafty stuff. I'm completely self-taught. I've seen it, I've had a look on videos on YouTube or whatever, and then I've given it a go. So I think that, you know, people need to be brave and give it a go, because it is really rewarding doing this. Right, so I'm going to need my little glue patch back, because I think this needs to be quite, even though that's a bit sticky, because I'm going to pop this piece of writing here over. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. So I need to make sure that he's going to stick on here nicely. So I'm just popping over a little bit more glue, because as I said, this is quite porous. Do you know, I think as well with crafting, there's no rules. No rules whatsoever, because whatever your heart desires, basically, is what you produce. So, I mean, I really don't have a clue where I'm going with this today, but I'm going just to start somewhere and go. So what I've done now is I've just put part of the letter on top of the, because I mean, I don't know if you can see, that's some really nice script writing on there. So I've popped that on top. And you can see there's a little bit of over, so I'm just going to trim that so that it is going to lay neatly. So I'm going to trim close to the box. Okay, so the problem I have now is I've got the clasp on this side and the hinges on this, but I only want to go halfway. So I'm just going to wet again the glue to do this end, because I really do want to make sure that this sticks where I want it to stick. So I'm just going to put another fresh layer of glue on here. And then I'm going to push down, but bearing in mind where my hinges are. Now I do have craft knife, so I'm just going to go to the top of the hinge, and I'm going to slice, but my blade's a little bit on the blunt side, unfortunately. But don't worry if it looks a little bit untidy. I really wouldn't worry, because you can tidy it up after. All right, so I'm just gonna trim that, because the doesn't want to play with me very well. And the same on that side. And trim up to where the hinge starts. Okay. I think this is how I'm going to do it. See what I mean? I'm just doing everything with no knowledge if I'm doing it correctly. I've probably got crafters out there watching this right now going, oh my god, what are you doing? You're cannibalizing it, you're making the right mess. But you know, I don't think there's any right way or wrong way to do anything in crafting. I think you just got to go with what you think is right for you and how you can get your final finish of what you've got in your mind's eye. Okay, so that's going around those hinges. I just need to make sure now that I can open my box. Alrighty, so that is something that I'm going to do with the craft knife again, but it's not good, not sticky enough yet. I'm just going to push down in the crease, because I need to make sure that I can still open my box at the end of the day. Okay, so I'll keep these little pieces because I might need them again, but we will see. At the minute it's looking a little bit on the bedraggled tatty side around the hinges, but as I said, we can tidy up as we go, because there's no hard fast rules as to how it needs to look. Now on this side I'm going to trim enough along the edge just so I've got a tuck over. Not because I want to cover the whole piece, but just because I need to tuck this over to keep it looking tidy and smart. So there's my tuck over. I'll just tuck that over there. Put my piece of paper up there. Just move my bits of rubbish out of the way. So now my box has been covered on the top. So what do I want to put on the back and the front and so on and so forth? I quite like this car. You see what I mean about how you can cover up any little errors that there might be. Now I know that this sticker is self-adhesive, so I'm just going to peel the backing off, and then I'm going to stick it in situ where I want this car to live. So this is the back of the trinket box, because I think I want to do something a little bit more on the front. So I'm sticking him down now. Bearing in mind again, you've got to locate where the edges of your hinges and what have you are. It's just so that you can tidy it up and, you know, make it neat. Okay, so there we go. So I'm going to put that there. So we've got one car part there. Make sure that's stuck down. And yes, I know I've gone over the hinge, but I over the how it opens, but I'll show you that in a second. I mean, at the moment, all I'm doing is trimming around the hinges. So I'm just going to take this piece, take this piece off. Like so. And then make sure everything else is stuck down. So, I mean, it just gives you the feeling, the indication that there is a vehicle there. And then on this side, I think I will have a camera. Then again, this is wishy-washy stickers. I think they're called washi stickers. And this I saved from a journaling package that I got off eBay for mega cheap, because a lady was giving up her crafting. So I thought, I don't mind if I do. There's some things I want to try, and as I said, you'll see that in a later video. Right, so what I need to do now is to actually, before I continue forward, is to use my craft knife and make a break in the picture so that I can actually open the box. So I'm just following the box is opening, so that when it's closed you can see the picture. When it's open, the box is able to function normally. Okay, so I'm just going to make sure that this is all tucked in on this one side and on the inside there. All right. I wouldn't worry about the little tiny bits that are sticking up, because these are all going to be addressed later. At the moment, all we're doing is decorating the box with boy stuff. So what I'm going to do on the other side is I'm going to put this clock, and I'm going to continue to finish decorating this, and then I'll be back to show you the next step. So I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so we've just got to the final stage of doing this one. So all we're going to do now is give it a jolly good coat of PVA glue, just to seal it all in and make sure that the paper is sticking to the box itself. So it's a little bit same with when I was decoupaging the stones, if you remember, if you watched the previous video. If not, it's in the crafting list. Please go ahead and go find that and have a wee watch. So all I'm doing here is just giving it a generous coating of glue, making sure that all the surface is covered, and basically what that's doing is that is sealing what's on there onto the box. When this is done, it will be when it's dry, sorry, it will be lacquered to give it another permanent seal. So it'll be a little trinket box keepsake for somebody to, you know, put bobs and bits in, whatever they wanted really. So I'm just making sure that I'm giving a good healthy coat on everything. I am actually going to open the box in a minute, but at the minute I'm just covering everything. Make sure it's stuck down. As I said, this is going to be I'm a bit stuck, hang on, just need to turn that around. So basically, as I say, make sure it's all covered, let it dry, and then when you go back to it, you need to give it a coat of varnish, or even 2 coats, it depending on how much you want to cover. Don't forget to cover your hinges so that you don't get varnish on them, so that they seize up and stop working. Trust me, I have done that already, and it is annoying. So now this box is completely covered in glue. I'm just going to open it up so that this can now sit on a piece of cellophane paper with, not quite sure what I'm going to stick in there actually, to stop it from, there's an old blade, let's stick that in there. It's basically to stop the glue from sticking. So that's the box all finished for the time being, but as I said, once I've done it, I'll give it a couple of coats of lacquer so that it looks nice and shiny. I mean, this is in a package for selling, but so once it's all nice and dry, it will be put up onto my Etsy store. So if you want to buy it, you know where to go. But until the next crafting session, we'll see you again soon. So for now, cheerio. Don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, the usual. Bye.